Hello, stitchy friends. Welcome to Flosstube number 13. My name is Melissa and my channel is Evening Star Stitches, and this is where I share my cross stitch, a little bit of quilting, and taking time to be creative. I'm long overdue for an update. I think the last time I've been with you was November, and I will say over the winter I don't know, I think I shared that my daughter went off to college last year. It was her first year, and I feel like we're kind of finding our way with new life routines, which is good. But I feel like I kind of lost that routine that I had of stitching. There wasn't, like the normal flow of how my days have been going. So I have touched quite a few projects. I've started a few, I finished one, and but I feel like I finally have my stitchy bug back, and I feel like I have I don't know, a little more drive to touch these projects and stitch a good many days in a row. So that's been kind of nice. I think the longer days have helped, and I think that I've had a little bit of a break from work. We have a few weeks off during the summer, so just the backlog of things in my brain I've kind of offloaded. I've gotten tons of appointments in and to-dos, and I feel like I've been able to breathe a little bit and just kind of settle into some stitching, which has been very nice. So I'm going to start actually with some things that I did in December, and in particular I would say the Jingle Ball kind of got me started on a few things. I signed up for some classes, and I didn't do a lot of pre-stitching, but I did start things during the classes while I was watching the teachers. They were amazing. Hello from Liz Matthews, and Hands-On Design, and Beth Twist, and quite a few things were going on during Jingle Ball, and absolutely loved it. I know a lot of you attend. If you don't, highly recommend it. It's very well done, very well produced. Lots of things to keep you, interested. So anyway, the first one that I'd like to show you, I have a very small start on, but it is a Hello from Liz Matthews pattern. And it is Winter Woodland Star Pillow. And I just kind of got started on the stitching. Liz shows you how to do some of that beadwork in her class. She did a great job demonstrating it. And I have a very small start with a deer and a little block there. So not very much, but it's a start. So I stitched this on, let's see, I have my tag here, 32 count Belfast linen, and my little tag says mushroom / light mocha, so I don't know if they changed the name of it, and I got that from Colorado Cross Stitcher. So anyway, it's a very nice, pretty neutral. I had to mark the top of it. I just took like a really fine Sharpie and wrote it on there because I think I started with this and it would have been really easy to kind of get things turned around. So got to start on that. And the next class that I did was Midwinter Morn Wall Tart by Beth Twist of Heartstring Samplery. I thought this was just a really sweet design that didn't scream like Christmas or winter, but I love like a good nature scene. And so I have a small start on this too. I used a Picture This Plus hand-dyed fabric, and I'll look up what the name of it is in just a minute. I thought it had a nice pink cast to it. I don't think it's coming through so much on here, but it does kind of have a brownish pink to it, kind of a lighter shade of those berries. So it is Bramble, 14 count Ada. So anyway, I just really love that color. And I think this is the first project that I ever did with Picture This Plus. It's got a nice hand to it. It's nice and thick. I think it dyes up kind of like a tight weave. And so when I talked to Stitch On about whether to go with a 14 count or like 28, 32, they recommended I might try the 14 first to see how I liked it before I went smaller, because I do sometimes have a struggle seeing some things without my magnifier. I did work a little bit on my Letters to Santa in December by Fat Quarter Shop. Kind of zoom in there a little closer. And I think I added to the border and then got some of the letters done. There's a common theme with a lot of these that if I would focus on them a little bit longer, some of them I don't think would take very long to get finished up, but I've either not been stitching or kind of changed some projects. I know when we get to the January, some of the January ones, that especially at the beginning, instead of doing like 12 by 12 over the course of a week, I think I picked a few projects each day to work like an hour on while I was off on my holiday break. And so, but it was nice to kind of, touch base with a few projects. So this one was, I believe, a New Year's start, and it's Seasonal Etchings by Heart and Hand. And my idea here was that I might add, a block each season, but I'm not quite there yet. And in fact, I have just the very smallest start. But, that's one of the things that sometimes it takes a lot of brain power for me to get started on a project. And so, to me, the hard part is done. So that's all I have of the rabbits starting his ear, I think. So, but it's a place to start, which was, I think, kind of the goal, somewhat was to get some of these projects started. So this one is being stitched on a fabric flare. It's called Waxing Moon Dyed Effect. It's 14 count. It's got a little bit of modeling to it, but not, not too much. So nice neutral. So the next one was Frosty Tiny Town by Heart and Hand. So you can kind of see just a nice snowy wintry village. I haven't ever stitched any of the little tiny towns, but this was the one that made me jump in and love the colors. So this is my little start. Just love that little smoke. I'm stitching it on, let's see, a Lugana 32 count Stormy Night. And it was just one that I had in stash that had that nice gray color. Let's see, it's got a little bit of modeling. It runs a little on the blue side, so I thought it would work really well. So then in my last video, I showed you guys that I had gotten this 12 monthly minis book with kind of 12 seasonal holiday pincushion designs by Primrose Cottage. And I cut pieces of fabric for several of them, for like 3 of them. And I think I'm using the called for 32 count light taupe. And I think I'm doing 1 thread over 2, maybe. I think I'm doing that. So here's my little start with my snowman. And if I remember right, no, maybe it wasn't this one. There was one that I did that the design was a little bit on the diagonal. Oh, I know, I remember what it was. I'll show it to you here in a little bit. And man, I struggled. So you can see this one right here. So I will say going on the diagonal is a little bit of a challenge. It shouldn't be, but I have to think a little bit. And I also have to be careful not to like turn this. I guess you could turn it and have your stitches, you know, going different ways, but I'm trying to keep them, you know, all one direction. So anyway, that was the start for this one. And I did order some of the pincushion buttons to go with these. And I'll show you some of them, but you can see like each one has a special button. Let's see. I think the snowman has like a snowflake here. There's a heart for the Valentine one. So anyway, from Just Another Button Company. And let's see, I've got a lot of these in just little Amazon bags, but this one was, I think, a travel bag. It's mesh that I picked up at TJ Maxx a while back. And I was running low on bags, and I was like, you know what? I think I have one of those in my suitcase. I was able to go and pull it out. So anyway, that takes us through some of, no, I've got some more. Did quite a bit of stitching in January compared to some of the other months. I touched a lot of things, which was nice. So last year, my daughter took, I think, Greek mythology for one of her college classes, and she's always been really interested in that kind of topic. She read, is it Rick Riordan's books? I can't remember the name of them. Percy Jackson. And so she designed kind of a neat ruin, Greek ruins design, and wanted me to stitch it. So every once in a while I pull that out and I kind of get some of it. I've got some of the sky, and then I started on some of the building. So it's pretty easy to stitch on, and I try to put a couple threads in every once in a while. So I did that. And then I touched this briefly. It's Fat Quarter Shop Stronger Together. Very modern. And I love the story that the designer shared. I want to see if her name, okay, so the donations for this pattern went to the United Negro College Fund. That's what it was. And this year they did like a big basket giveaway that you could purchase, like, I want to say like raffle tickets for, to go towards that. And it was designed by Michelle Ramsey of Quilts Made with Love, and her website is quiltsmadewithlove.com. And Fat Quarter Shop did an interview with her, and really enjoyed that. So anyway, it's a really easy stitch, and so every once in a while when I need some fill-in, I've kind of been saving it for that. I pull that out. So I've had the Bonnie and Camille Shine On sampler for quite a while, and every once in a while I pick it up and put, you know, some more stitches in it. These are some of my favorite colors, and so I think I probably finished up, I think maybe this block, and then also I think I finished this one. So I always enjoy working on this one. What else do I have here? So this one, I need to pull the pattern out. And it's Hands-On Design. And it's Let's Talk Winter. And I think the major thing that I've done, not a ton, but I think I've added the snowman. I think initially, like the last time I shared it, I think I just had the hat for the snowman. So I've been able to add him. I think I probably already had the snowflakes on there. But I focused more on Let's Talk Spring, which I'll show you here in a little bit. So next is Flea Market Flowers, and this big pink flower that's right here. I've kind of got it all formed except for a fill-in of, what's it going to be, kind of a light pink in the middle. This one challenged my brain a bit. There's something about these symmetrical designs that kind of, I really have to concentrate pretty hard on those. Oh, and I don't know that I've been sharing maybe all the fabric, but 14 count chalkboard black for the Let's Talk Winter. And this one is on a, I think probably 25 count Lugana. I think it's called for, yeah. So got this one in a project bag that I made. It's pretty cute. So I have got on my list a bunch of different project bags to make, and I keep thinking I'm going to do a big day where I do a big amount of cutting and get them all stacked up and ready to go. So anyway, we'll see how that goes this summer. So the next one, I think I had kind of kitted up, and I saw Lenny from the Sable Stitchers finish this one, and I think he's so cute. It's a Bent Creek design. It's called Snowy Owl Globe, and in my kit, the count of the fabric is pretty high, and I wasn't sure I'd like it, but I decided, you know what, I'm just going to try it and see what I think. Let me see what it is. 20 count linen. So, and it's stitched with one strand of pearl cotton. So I decided I'd give it a try. I had trouble like finding a needle, and so I reached out to Lenny and asked her what she used, and it's a little bit of a bigger needle to hold that thicker thread. I don't remember what number it is right now, but I have the package there in my drawer, so I just had to experiment a little bit and find an eye that was big enough for the pearl cotton thread. In February, I did a little bit of Let's Talk Winter. I did a little quilting, worked on that Snowy Owl Globe, Flea Market Flowers. And in March, I touched some more projects, but one of the things that I think I started it in March was Tiny Modernist Christmas Terrarium. And I don't know what made me pull this out, but it had been on my mind for a while. And I think it's really cute. I love the little rabbit in there and the flowers. It's just very whimsical. And I got a small start. So let me just, a little something to put behind it. So it's just the roof of the house. And I think this one is on just a black instead of a chalkboard black. And I don't know what spurred that on at that moment. It could have been that, let's see, March. Maybe it was the Nash Dash Startathon, and I thought, you know what, if I'm going to start some things. No, because that was with market items. I don't know. Anyway, I got inspired to start it, and got it all kitted up with threads. And it's ready to go when I feel like, you know, really getting going on it. So, all right. Now, hands-on design, Let's Talk Spring is one I focused a little bit more on. You know what? I think I worked on Primrose Stitches has those patterns that it's something wishes and something kisses. And I finished one of them. It went so fast. I love doing the letters on it. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go back and work on these letters on this. But they're a little more involved. They're a little thicker. And so I worked on it a little bit. Let me put this behind it. So I may have finished like this sign out. I know like last night I worked on these two L's. I think I may have done the E this week. And I think I've just added maybe another tulip. So I've just kind of been picking it up and adding a little bit here and there. It's on chalkboard black, 14 count. And I think that I'm gonna just focus on one season. I was tempted to switch around again now that spring is over, but I think I'm gonna just keep going with it. And then, because they're so similar with all the white lettering that I think I will try and make more progress and finish one. So there's that one. And then the other day I finished this one because it's July. It's USA Forever stamp. And I did purchase the little finishing wood set from Chantal from 141 Design. I actually purchased it on Fat Quarter Shop's website. Sometimes they carry her little wood kits. So this is the one the flag kind of got me a little bit, but I got it finished up. I was very hesitant about adding this border because the white on this kind of pale gray fabric, I wasn't sure it was going to show up, but I decided, well, it doesn't really show up. You don't see it so much on the pattern cover either, but I felt like it was more visible on mine. So I went ahead and added it, and I'm glad I did. I like that. So I think the thing that drew me in with this one was the light blue and kind of the little floral motif with it. It's not, I don't know, it's kind of a softer patriotic, I'll say. So I do have the finishing bits. I need to get some paint for it. So anyway, that was fun to really stick with that and finish it up. And then after I got those two L's finished in the Let's Talk Spring, I was like, okay, I'm done with the letters for right now. And I pulled out a little bag that I had with the daisy seeds. Actually, what I did was in here, I have some of my whips that I'm not currently working on, and I kind of labeled them by kind of season. Let's see if you can see that. Push them back a little bit. Yeah, you can kind of see some of that. So I've got spring, summer, fall, Christmas, winter. Do I have a Halloween? I don't have a Halloween right now, but I know I will have one. Winter, long-term, or monthly focus, anytime. So anyway, I looked there and I looked in my little notebook because I've got kind of projects in January. I listed them out by season. So if I was like, well, the season's changed and I'm kind of in a summery mood, what would I pick? And the only thing I had listed was daisy seeds. So I'm going to go in a little closer there so you can see that. In my little bag, I have one that I'd finished called Sunflower Seeds. Love that one. And I had a start on this one that was just the blue part of the little border, the top border. So today I sat and filled in, I think maybe, was it all today? Days are kind of running into each other. I might have worked on it a little bit last night, but I added in the white. And so I'll just work my way kind of down from the red to the daisies all the way down. So the other one I have in here that I haven't started yet is the strawberry seeds. So anyway, those are pretty fun. And they're on 14 count, chalkboard, Ada. Now in my search for things, I came across Ladybug Picnic by Hands On Design. And oh my gosh, I just love this one. The little daisies, ladybugs, but it's not too overly cutesy. I just love it so much. I was able to find the called for fabric, which was 32 count pomegranate fabrics by Stephanie. And it was a new to me shop. I think it might have been on Etsy. I can't remember. I'll have to go and look. Because it was hard to come by. It seemed like every place was sold out. So I don't really remember when I started this. The only thing I can think of is I might have started it during the Nash Dash with Lindy Stitches events. I remember it was kind of a busy weekend, and I couldn't, like, usually for Jingle Ball, like, I block everything out on my calendar for Jingle Ball. But we had some things going on, and so I wasn't able to do that. And so I kind of popped in here and there, which is why I didn't get very far on my start. But the hardest part for me is done, so I can hop in there anytime and work on it. I think those are all my whips and starts and finishes so far. Let me double check here. Nope, it's not. And I didn't pull it. Let me think of where it is. Not that one. Not that one. Okay, it's this one. Almost forgot one. Hands On Design. She gets me every time. So it's not ironed because I kind of forgot about it. But it is called, I think it was the Spring Mingle class that she offered. And here's a picture of it. This is on the finishing instructions, but it kind of gives you an idea. It's called the Bee's Knees, and it's got, no, that's not what it's called. This Bee's Got Knees is what it's called. And so this is kind of the finished pattern, and she also gives directions for some pins that are stitched on perforated paper. Darling! So I ordered the pins, and I've kind of just here and there been working on, oh, I've got threads everywhere. I've been working on it a little bit. I'm guessing, okay, for this one, I just stitched a little T at the top so I wouldn't lose track of what the top is. So that's what I've got so far. And this one, I know is Picture This Plus. Did I keep the tag in the corner? Let's see. I know I got this one from Stitch On, and they usually kind of staple a little tag. Yes. So they have like a little tag stapled so I don't lose track. It is 14 count Ada, Picture This Plus, and it's Wren. So it has just a touch of green in it. I don't think it's picking it up. The sun's kind of coming in this time of day. there it shows a little bit. I don't know. But anyway, it seemed just right. So that may be the last one. That's quite a bit of things I've touched. So nothing in June. We were very busy in June. I was working until like the 13th, and then we went on a camping trip. It was kind of nice. My husband left from home, and I left from the conference that I was at in Santa Fe, and we kind of met in the middle around like the Chama area, I think, and kind of explored up in that area. It was beautiful. And we've been to Kansas, Nebraska, and Colorado. Went to the Garden of the Gods. We went to Pioneer Village in Nebraska. That place kind of blew my mind. And we went to go see some friends in Kansas. So between that and getting in tons of appointments, catching up on things, it's been like a jam-packed summer. And I'm gonna go see my family in Tennessee really soon. I'm gonna fly. My little town just opened their airport back up again. So I'm going to try that experience, which is nice. I won't have to drive 3 hours south or an hour north to one of the little local airports in Durango. So anyway, and then I'll have a few days and I'll be back at work. So it's been nice to have some time to kind of catch up on some things. So I do have a little bit of haul to share and a little bit of quilting haul, not very much. I've been kind of, I have been actually quilting a little bit and finished this. Well, you know how in cross stitch there's like finish and then there's fully finished? Well, I have had just a finish of a little table topper. I was trying out a block, and but I haven't fully finished it and quilted it and bound it yet. So anyway, I do have a little bit to share, but I'm thinking that I might share the quilting stuff in a separate video, like projects. I really love Lala D Stitches. I don't know if you watch her, but highly recommend her. She usually does cross stitch pretty frequently. I think every couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. And then maybe once a month or two, maybe every 2 months, she shares like a full quilting video. And she has this great binder. I think she calls it her, maybe I shouldn't put words in her mouth, but what I hear, what I think when I hear her talking about her notebook is her like quilting binder brain, where she has all of her details of her projects and things like that in it. And I'm like, oh, she's so organized. So anyway, I think I may do a special video just with the quilting. I know some of you have asked me to share more of my quilting, but tell me what you think. You know, some cross stitchers share all of their crafty hobbies on one video, but I don't know that I love it. Like, I love seeing the things that I do, like quilting, but I'm not a big knitter yet. I love looking at yarn. I love touching the yarn. I love seeing like finished projects, but I don't know. Tell me if you have opinions about that. If I should keep them separate or do them together. So anyway, I'm gonna reach over here to my little cart and just kind of dig into the shelf here to share some things. So one was during market, I picked, this is the 2025 Nashville release for Classic Color Works. I picked up some of their new colors. I thought they were so pretty. So we've got Sparkling Rose, and this one is Green Tea. Got a nice variegation. It's very subtle. And this one is Apple Cider. And I see here, I don't even remember getting this, but it is a little needle minder. And this one is by Fat Quarter Shop. It says Bloom on it. Kind of reminded me of the little ball jars. But what else? Anything else hanging there? Okay, and I mentioned that I got the pins by Just Another Button Company for Primrose Cottage's little pin cushion thing. So I thought I'd show some of those. Let's see. Here's a little snowflake for January. And a little heart for February. March has a cute little sheep. April's is just a little purple flower. May is a little yellow flower. June has a cute little strawberry. And they match the little single pins to have the little green. July is a star. August is a little bumblebee. September, what is September? Oh, it's an acorn. October is a little black star. November is a little pumpkin. And December looks like holly. See the little red berries? So that was kind of fun. And when I went to Kansas a couple of weeks, well, I guess it was over 4th of July. I think I stopped into their shop on the 3rd. You have to make an appointment. It's out in the country. My husband went with me this time. I was like, honey, you've got to see the view. It's kind of up on a hill. It's out in the country. It looks out over the Wakarusa Valley. It is so pretty. And so he was able to just kind of relax on their front porch while I shopped. So I bought the foam board to make some Lori Holt design boards. She has a tutorial on her blog. Have I made them? No. And I got this thinking that it would be good to have in my lap for when we were traveling. My cat's walking around here somewhere. I don't want to step on her. And things wouldn't slide. So I actually ended up driving quite a bit on the way home. We decided we wanted to kind of try and make it back in a day. And so to give each other breaks, we kind of took turns driving quite a bit. And the roads are not the best between here and there. So anyway, I didn't try it out, but I think this will come in really handy. So anyway, what else is under here? Okay, I think I'm gonna pause and pull it up because I've got a bit of a stack. So this is gonna go most recent to oldest acquisitions because that's how I pulled it out. I have like a little rolling cart and I've just been kind of tucking things in there. So let's see what I've got here. I did pick up at Stitch On another picture this plus 14 count Ada in Fog, and so I thought it was just a nice neutral. It's just real creamy, so got that. And then I've had a hard time finding 28 count needles. Seems like every time I go to look, they're out of stock at like Fat Quarter Shop. And so Stitch On had some of Lori Holt's 28 count. They had all of her sizes. I think she does 28, 26, and 24, I think is what I saw there. So I'm gonna try those out and see how those are. So Stitch On had been holding on to this pattern for me until I could come pick it up. They ship also. So anyway, Stitching Quaker by Primrose Cottage. All the nice little scissors, spools of thread. We got floss, pincushion, hoop. This stitch underneath there, really cute. So I've never done one of their Quakers. I think this might be the first one I've purchased. I might have a Christmas one, I'm not sure. We might find it down here in the bottom of here. So let's see. My mom shared at Christmas a couple of Aurifil flosses, a cream and a gray. Those are my go-to neutrals. And then she shared this one with me that was kind of new to both of us. It's called Scanfill, I think. And it's made in the EU. It's organic. And oh, it's made in the Netherlands. So anyway, just a creamy neutral. It's got kind of a wooden bobbin. So I'm gonna give that a try. I picked up at Stitch On another one of Primrose Cottage's Kisses patterns. I got this one that says Firework Kisses. So Firework Kisses and 4th of July Wishes. And I got that because I was there during 4th of July and picked up the DMCs for it that have kind of fallen, I think, everywhere. And then I think I've had this one for a little bit. I think I got this one when it came out. Maybe, was it a market release? No, 2023. Liberty Pennies by Hands On Design. And I think what I said before about the Fat Quarter Shop, this patriotic piece, that it was kind of a floral, soft patriotic. To me, this one kind of falls into that category as well. So I picked up some of the threads at Stitch On. It looks like mostly weeks, but they didn't have all the colors, so I'll have to keep looking for those. I feel like I've had this one a while, but I don't think I've shared it. Maybe I had the pattern, but then I got the fabric. But it's Silver Creek Sampler, and what's it called? Camber Sampler. So it's got a campfire, and then the words are listed here. It says, crisp, cool air, moonlit night, warm bonfire, stars so bright, dancing flames, ancient lore, embers glowing, make a s'more. And I thought my husband would like that. And the fabric I got from Fiber on a Whim is Sapphire. It's a 16 count Aida. So let me take it out because it's really pretty. It's got nice modeling to it. Kind of reminds me of a pair of old blue jeans. I want to say is it the Spring Mingle? I picked up these pins from Lindy Stitches. They're Puntini pins. Really cute. Okay, so I think Stitch On got me these. I think I requested them maybe. And they're all Primrose Cottage. So we've got Sip Stitch Repeat. And this is the Christmas Trees and Stitching Please. And Warm Winter Wishes. I love the little cocos. So, and they're all kind of colored similarly. I don't even remember why I got this. I might have gotten this for the pins, for the bee's knees little pins that had a cross-stitch topper to them. 18 count, yeah. I think that's, you know what, I think I know where I got this. I was down in Albuquerque and got down there a little earlier. Normally when I'm down there, I've tried a few times to go to, I think it's called Stitcher's Garden, but I'm always there. I get out of a meeting like too late to go in, or I don't get into town until later, so it's really hard for me to stop in there. But for some reason, one day I know it was right before, it was in June, I went down for a literacy conference in Santa Fe, and I had time to stop in for just a little bit. So I got the perforated paper, and then I picked up this pattern. It's a Brenda Gervais with a needle, and it's Candy Cane Wishes. So a little snowman and some cardinals, really cute. Okay, and then I am in Stitching with the Housewives. Fat Quarter Shop have a little club, and they send everything in a little bag. Really cute. And I think, honestly, I signed up for the strawberry one. And here's the pattern. It's Strawberry Shortcakes. It's their Sweet Season series. And so they send the pattern, they send the bag. There's a cute little needle minder. And the thread is all in there. Classic Color Works. And then what else? Oh, some little fabric for some finishing. So I've gotten that one. And I'm running out of places to put things. This is one of them that came. It's got some cute little birds on the back side. I don't think I noticed that before. Oops. So this one is kind of a carrot cake theme, and carrot cake, Sweet Seasons. It's kind of got a tiered tray there. Cute little banner. And the needle minder should be in here. Yep, there it is. Where did it go? Dropped it. Ah, there it is. Just darling. Nice spring. Little orange finishing fabric. And then these are the Classic Color Works. So it's nice to have, the threads and some little goodies all together. Okay, so then we're getting down into the pile where it was Nashville Needlework Market time. So I picked up the little cookbook, and gosh, it's got just some darling, like, little berries. That one is by Robin Pickens. And this has been out a little bit, so you've probably seen some really good stitches from people. I haven't tried any of the recipes yet. So anyway, that's fun to look at. I'm watching all the neighbors driving by. Coming home, I got October 31st Pen Keep by Stitches by Ethel. It's my first pattern by her. It looks like a fun little quick stitch. I've done some other little Halloween stitches that I haven't fully finished yet, but have like little pumpkins and black cats. So I think I still might even have some fabric, some gray fabric, and I think it'll mix in nice with those. Gosh, I saw this. I knew right away I had to have this one. It's by Heartstring Samplery, Beth Twist, and it's called An Ode to Libraries. I'm a book lover and a reader, and literacy coach. I was a first grade teacher, a reading teacher, so of course I'm gonna love anything library themed or book themed. Hey kitty. So what it says on there is that the very existence of libraries affords the best evidence that we may yet have hope for the future of humanity. And it's got beautiful floral designs. Just love it. And I didn't notice this at first, but it's a book that's open right here. So anyway, I love that. Got Tomato Hill. I thought this would be a fun little small. This time of year, I think of my dad. He always grew tomatoes and always had fresh tomatoes when I came home to visit. And I think that'll be, hey, Mittens. Kitty, kitty. She's gonna try and scratch at the rug. I picked up Lily, as a lot of people did. There was something about her that just, I don't know. I love Maggie May, and I don't know, I was able to resist picking her up because I was like, well, I'll pick her up when I'm ready to do her. She looks adorable, but I wasn't sure how hard it would be to stitch her. But people have really been saying great things about how fun it's been to stitch, and I got her threads. So I think I'm gonna do her just as called for. I love the pinky red in her dress. So anyway, I've got to figure out what fabric. I think I have some fabric in my stash that I can use for her. I did pick up light taupe, 27 count Linda light taupe, and I got a half yard of it to do those little pin cushions from Primrose Cottage. I've gotten a lot of Primrose Cottage. This one I picked up in Moab. We were traveling through there, and I was able to stop at a little quilt shop that I hadn't been to, and they had cross stitch patterns, a few. So this one's Beautiful Things. I'll kind of zoom in close so you can see that. Beautiful things come together one stitch at a time. Isn't that true? And then Christmas Magic by Primrose Cottage. Stitches. More wordplay. For some reason, I think I've shown this before, and I hope I tucked the other one in my drawer, but I got one of these for both my sister and I. It's a Lori Holt charm. Little ball jar, but it says B on it. Let's see. Got Chubby Squirrel. I'm pretty particular about my squirrels, and this has been like my favorite squirrel pattern that I've seen. I don't want them to be too skinny or, I don't know, weird looking. And this one is just perfect. And this one is by Jeanette Douglas. When I was down at the shop, Stitcher's Garden, they had Chubby Fox, and I could not remember if I'd purchased it. I think I have Chubby Bird, but I've looked at them and I love them, and I'm like, I need to start finding a way to keep track of what patterns I have that I can easily check on my phone, whether it's a document or a note or something. Maybe have one for each designer that I could pull up. How do you guys keep track when you're out and about? Like, it doesn't happen that often because I really don't have any needlework shops close to me. So it's usually online, and I can kind of look through my stash and see. But anyway, got Velvet Pink Pear and Needlebook. This is Stacy Nash. I want to say I probably got this one at the Jingle Ball. We've got Strawberry Patch by Robin Sample by, oh, this is October House Fiber Arts. I didn't know her name before, but I can see it here on the back of the pattern. So anyway, love strawberries. But you know what? I don't think I've stitched a strawberry yet. I'm just collecting the pattern so far. Coco's Garden. And this is my first Teresa Kogut pattern. For some reason, I think I've shown this before, but I couldn't have. But I will say it is a very nice book. Yeah, because I haven't done a video in a while. Okay, and then just a couple more. Jan Hicks Creates. This is Spring Sunshine. So pretty. Now, Jan Hicks, she's been creating YouTube videos for a while. And the last couple she's shown, I think she moved to France, and she's opening up a little shop, and she's going to be hosting events at some point. And so it was really interesting. She shared the process that she's gone through to move there. Some of the things that the hoops that she had to jump through to be able to live there and start her business. So it'll be interesting to see. I think she gave a little tour of her shop, and it's kind of unfinished. We just got the keys kind of state. So it'll be fun to see her share as she, gets things ready for customers and people to come over and visit her. So this one is a Twin Peak Primitives pattern. It's called Bunny's Favorite. And let's see, it's a little booklet. Oh, it's got a nice color pattern. It's nice and big. I can see that. Some of the patterns are so small, but that one is really nice. Hopefully that was a quick flash. But I will say, if you like a black and white pattern, she does have black and white also. So it's nice when designers do that, because I know everybody has their own personal preference. So hopefully that quick flash was okay, so you can kind of see just a little taste of what their patterns are like. She's, I'm assuming Twin Peak Primitives, that's a new pattern for me. I've never had a Jan Hicks. I've never had a Teresa Kogut. I've had a couple of those little October House, mini long pin keeps, but I haven't stitched them. I haven't stitched Stacy Nash yet, and I've got a couple patterns by her. So it's kind of fun to get some new designers in the mix. Okay, so quilting, I don't really have much, but I thought I'd show you. Primrose Cottage actually curates some really nice small bundles, and I love it because I have a good stash of quilting fabric, and a lot of fat quarter bundles that you get are huge stacks that you might not need. If you're gonna make a quilt, you need a good amount of variety. But if you're trying to finish a cross stitch or just want to make a small project, you don't really need a ton. And so they put together some small packets of fat quarters, which I think are great. So I thought I'd show you. I have two different ones that I picked up. I think maybe they had a sale at Christmas time, or anyway. So this one had a nice little, it's kind of a bigger print. It's got a little bit of red, very wintry. And then little snow hats and mittens. And sometimes I've seen where they take different manufacturers and they mix them up, and sometimes they pick certain choices from just one line of fabric. So I'm not sure. Sometimes you can get the selvage and see Riley Blake Magical Winterland by Lisa Audit are some of the prints. I don't know if they all are. And then the other one, some of these are really good for finishing cross stitch, I think. Some of the smaller scale kind of, It's not really monochromatic, but you know, one color with white or cream. They work really well for finishing cross stitch. And then this one I thought would too, or I love red fabrics, and I tend to kind of collect them. But this one is really sweet little print. And this one had some text and a nice quilting design, little polka dot, little candy cane hearts, and some snowflakes. They put together some nice curated collections based on color and theme. So it was fun. I think that might be the first time I purchased fabric from them. So a couple other little bundles when I was, where did I get this one? Oh, hang on, let me get that. Okay, that little shop in Moab, I went in, and one of the fabrics in this stack was a strawberry fabric, and they had the strawberries in different colors. So very sweet. And they had it in a, I think a green, and anyway, they had it in some other colors and a pink. And then I was like, oh, well, some of these are nice. And so she saw me kind of picking through, and she goes, you know, I have a bundle. So anyway, there was a cute stack. I love the colors. I love the strawberries. And here's a, I'm gonna just demolish this cute folded pyramid of nice variety. It has kind of that kind of ombre effect, but also a little worn. So anyway, really cute. And then I like these little blenders. So I think her card is here on the bottom. Let's see if I can hold this up. Moab, Utah, and then let's see, what is it? What does it say? Never enough stitches. And so she's got some cross stitch, she's got fabric, and there might even be a website there. So anyway, that was new to me. And then these blues and greens kind of caught my eye. So love that one. So I tried to get enough that would mix together, and I think I have some of these colors, the blue and the green, some geometric designs that would mix well with these florals in my fabric stash. So anyway, that was a fun little shop to visit. And then speaking of little cards, I have stitch-ons. They have a little card. It says, we'd love for you to come and visit us. They're in Lawrence, Kansas. We are by appointment only. Please call or message to set up an appointment. We go live on Facebook twice a week, Mondays and Thursdays at 11 Central. So their little phone number is right there. You can scan the QR code. I'm not like affiliated with them, but I just love shopping with them. They have such great customer service. And when you see something on their Facebook Live, you can Facebook message them with what you would like. You can call them and they will hold it for you and let you accumulate a few things, and then they'll ship it all together to kind of save on your shipping. So I got this at Stitch On. Just a small bundle, 13 fat quarters in there. And I really like the, what is that color? Not mauve, magenta, maybe. I kind of think of that as a magenta color. So let's see if I can show you some of the prints there. And I think they still have this line. This one's kind of pretty with the blues. It kind of reminded me a little bit of Liberty fabric. It's a paisley. Gosh, I haven't seen a paisley in forever. I love the little small dainty prints. So, gives you a little taste of what is in there. Anything else down? Let's see. Picked up 2 charm packs. Raspberry Summer. And that one's by Sherry and Chelsea for Moda. And then Berry and Pine. And this one is a Layla Boutique for Moda. And let's see, I'll just do a quick little, let's see, they do this. So there's a paisley too. Paisleys are making a comeback, I guess. I'm gonna give you an idea of the different colors. I think this one is a good companion for Strawberry Summer, I think it was. No, was it Lemonade Summer? Strawberry Lemonade? Maybe it's Strawberry Lemonade. I have a charm pack of that one too. But I was thinking like project bags for these. This is a nice little Christmas line. Anyway, thinking for little small projects. I did pick up the Woven Star foundation paper from Fat Quarter Shop. I don't think I've shown this. This is a Lori Holt pattern. So Scrappy Spools. I picked up somewhere. I think maybe this I picked up at a quilt shop in Cortez, Colorado. Cortez Quilt Company. Got this book called Crumb Quilts. And the one that really stood out to me was this one. This blue one. Is there another picture of it somewhere? Ah, there's a good picture of it. So it's really scrappy, but it comes across as like solid blue with those little sparkly stars. So Stitch On sent me a little kit with a sweetheart pillow. So it's got kind of the background fabric, and then it has all the little reds. And somewhere along the line, I picked up this, I think at Cortez Quilt Company. It's kind of a little metallic print. And let's see, anything else lingering under there? I've printed off a couple of patterns from Fat Quarter Shop. Has this pattern that uses that foundation paper called Star Climber, and I thought that was really pretty. With Primrose Cottage, you can sign up for their newsletter. They have a quilting one and a cross stitch one, and once a month they both have a free pattern that's sent in your email. And so this was one that I printed, American Star, and they also have one that's a strawberry one that's really cute, that I printed, but I didn't see it right here. Printed this one too. It's Square Up Quilt Pattern by Fat Quarter Shop. So I don't have any big plans for any of these, but sometimes I forget about things when they're on in my good notes. And if I print them out, then I'll come across them and I'll hopefully remember them. So what chaos I have on my table. It's actually my cutting table, but it's been kind of fun going back and touching like all these projects and kind of thinking back. I've been really kind of beating myself up that I haven't really stitched very much, made time for that, and I haven't, but I have done a little bit, so it kind of makes me feel better, and I don't know, I feel like my stitchy bug is kind of back, and I've got a little runner on my design wall at the moment, so I've had like little moments here and there of some time to do some things. So thanks for hanging out with me for a little bit today, and I hope you're finding time for your stitching. At the moment, my challenge for finding time is I've really enjoyed after dinner watching shows and videos and things with my husband, and we have tended, since it's just the two of us, to go to his office. He's got a comfortable like little leather like love seat recliner, and his desks are in there, and when it was cold this winter we could put on like our little space heater in that room, and it was just so cozy. But I didn't like, the room was dark because we had the lights off watching TV, and I didn't bring my cross stitch in. And when we used to be in the living room, I had my big magnifier light and a little cart and everything just set up just so nicely, and there's just not really room in his office for that kind of thing, so I'd probably have to roll it back and forth. So I'm just still kind of figuring out a new way of what our routines are going to be like, so that I can keep up with, you know, all of my little crafty goodness. I hope you guys are all doing well, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. Happy stitching.